Hello, everyone, and welcome to another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Mage venue. In this scene, we are going to begin with Christina and Cassidy leaving the Smart Mart because there was some shit going down there that they did not want to be a part of. Cassidy had left rather quickly, so Christina followed her out. As soon as they heard sirens, they kind of hightailed it out. So I imagine Christina probably parked a little ways down the street because I'm sure that there wasn't a lot of parking in front of the little Smart Mart. So she will turn to Cassidy. She'll say, "Are you okay?" And she speaks with a British accent that I can't really do. So if I try to speak with a British accent, it defaults to Irish. All the fucking time.
Yeah, Cassidy is very much American, so.
Okay.
It's tough to explain. Yelling just kind of, it upsets me, so.
She'll nod. I can understand that. She'll kind of like look her over just for a second, making sure, like seeing if her anxiety is up or, just that kind of assessment.
She does seem a little anxious even still. It seems to have subsided some, but she's still a little on edge.
What are your plans the rest of the day?
I hadn't actually planned on anything. I planned on going home and washing this off as she gestures to the large amount of woad that is just all over her.
She'll give a smile to that, and she'll say, "What sort of ritual were you doing?"
For the coming solstice, just preparations, really.
She'll nod. I've been making my own preparations for the coming solstice as well. I'm very excited about this one.
Yes, it'll be my first here in Ireland, so.
It's a whole different experience here. I love it.
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Well, perhaps we'll be at the same one.
Perhaps.
Would you, I think that we should probably get to know each other a bit better as we are both of the same tradition. If you would like to come to my home and have some tea, I'd be happy to have you.
That sounds lovely. I could use a good cup of tea right now.
Good. She'll smile and lead her to her car. It's actually fairly modest vehicle. It seems very economical. I haven't decided exactly what it is yet, but it's probably a hybrid of some sort. Or even an electric car. Actually, we'll say it's an electric car because she's very environmentally conscious. So she drives an electric car. We'll say it's like a Nissan Leaf or something like that.
Yeah.
Cassidy
generally walks everywhere, so.
So she'll actually open the door for her to get in the car.
Yeah, so she doesn't get the woad all over the handle. Because it is also on her hands.
Yeah, but it's also just her being nice. She didn't even think about
that
the woad being on her hands. She just wanted to open the door for her.
Yeah, because she's also got it on her hands, on her chest.
Yeah. So yeah, she opens the door for her and she'll look at her and notice that it's kind of everywhere. And she'll say, Would you like me to buckle your seatbelt for you?
I suppose you don't want this all over the seatbelt, so that might be a good idea.
Because that's not flirting at all. And she will she will reach across her a little bit to buckle her seatbelt for her. And she'll smile to her, and Cassidy will catch that there is a very, very, very slight blush on her cheeks.
Oh, Cassidy has gone red by this point.
Christina usually has very good composure, but she has managed. Cassidy has managed to get a blush out of her. So she shuts the door. She's kind of like she gets around to the back of the car before she gets around to the front. She just kind of like puts two fingers to one of her temples and shakes her head and is like, "Get it together." um,
Oh, what's the matter, buddy?
and
Come here.
yeah, she'll get in and buckle her own seatbelt, and there is actually when she starts the car, there is Celtic music playing, like pagan praise and worship songs. um, so if Cassidy doesn't seem to mind that, she's not going to change it.
Oh no, she seems quite acceptable to this.
Good. Oh yeah, she will drive to her place, which isn't honestly that far of a drive, but on the drive there, she will ask Cassidy, "So what brought you to Ireland?"
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. It was just a pull.
A pull.
The
I can understand that.
yes. They
There's a lot of
sometimes act in strange ways.
there's a lot of rich history here, so it could have drawn you. I got here about 3 years ago. I'm from London. Not originally from London, but I lived there since I was 2. I'm originally from Greece. Um,
Oh, wow. Quite
um,
a rich cultural history there as well.
she smiles. Yes, but my family's line isn't completely Greek. There's actually some Celtic in there as well. So that's why I decided to go to Ireland, was to study it more and see what I could help with environmentally. I'm an environmental scientist.
Huh. I actually know next to nothing about my family, so
I I don't know why, but I felt like it was important to research it, so I did. It took me a lot of years to piece it together. I'm still not done, but
I
that's just
suppose when you're adopted, things get a little more complicated.
indeed it can. How long have you been awakened?
Let's see. It's been. Shh, shh, shh. It's okay, buddy. Sorry, fussy baby.
It's okay.
It's been 5 years now.
She nods. It's been almost 10 for me. She like almost looks kind of baffled that it's already been that long.
Seems like time passes faster yet slower at the same time.
Indeed. Oh, she'll say before we she'll actually pull into her little driveway. She has a cute little like cottage style house. And there's all kinds of plants, like all kinds of fucking plants out in front. She pulls into her little driveway and she'll say, so before we go in, you remember Kit?
Ah, yes.
Okay, she lives here.
Oh,
She smiles.
well, it'll be pleasant
She
to
should
see her
be
again.
home. So, no doubt being chastised by Archimedes. Archimedes is my familiar.
Ah.
He's an owl, and he's a very sophisticated owl.
I wouldn't imagine him and Kit would get along very well then. She doesn't strike me as the, what's the word they use here? Posh type.
No, she's not. But I suppose that's one thing that drew me to her. And she'll unbuckle her seatbelt and make sure that it gets off properly, which requires her to reach over her again.
All of the sexual tension.
Oh yeah! Oh
All
my
of it.
god! All
of it. I have a feeling this will happen if Katya and Fleur ever meet again too. So
You're not wrong, honestly. So, and then she'll get out and she'll open the door for her.
Cassidy will get out. She's wearing, a long skirt now that she's no longer at the ritual, wearing a long skirt and a long sleeve off the shoulder tunic.
Oh yeah, that's not hot or anything. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. She Christina subconsciously licks her lips. Like she doesn't even realize that's what she's doing.
This would cause a blush again.
So, inside. Would you like to come inside?
Yes. Let's do that.
And then she realizes what she said, and now she full on blushes and just hurries. To get to
They
the
are
door.
so awkward, and it's great.
It's amazing. I love awkward tension so much. And then she opens the door for her.
She would go on in.
And she'll when she follows her in, she'll say, Kit, are you home? Benny, are you there? No, okay. I need to find a new gift.
So Kit was sitting by the window at one point, just kind of chilling and going through her phone messages. And when she saw the car pull up, she's like, "Oh, cool, Christine's home." And then, seeing Cassidy, it's like interesting. And then the exchange, and she immediately had to go into the kitchen and grab a beer. And she's now just sitting there with this exact look as the two of you come through the door together. I swear to God, you two are at this point like fucking saccharine. It's almost disgusting to look at.
Oh, well, thanks. Nice to see you too. She'll walk over and playfully tap her shoulder.
Hello again, Kit.
Cassidy?
Cassidy needs some tea. And so do I. She will busy herself making tea. Completely like laser focused on it for a minute. Like, oh my god.
Kit just kind of leans back in the chair a little bit and puts her calves up on the table as she watches. She's just observing the two of them. She doesn't say anything. That's what she's doing.
I'm sure that she can sense
The ridiculous tension.
so much tension between them.
Because what else do you expect of two Verbena?
I know, right? God. Especially two that are similar in their beliefs and things like that. It's just magnetic. um so she'll ask Cassidy, how do you take your tea?
Oh, just straight, I suppose.
Just,
oh heavens!
oh, you're straight, huh?
No, actually.
She like claps her hand over her mouth, like, oh my god. I can't believe
At which point she does the same thing because.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh my god. Right. So, you don't want anything in it.
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So she sits down in front of her since she knew that she was anxious. It is a blend of it's basically a blend of lavender and chamomile and chai. And sets that down in front of her. It smells fantastic. And she'll say, that's a blend for calm that I make for yes, occasions where people need to be calm. Oh my god. She can't even fucking talk. This is great. Like, I made some for myself too. She just sits down. She sits down next to Kit. Across from Cassidy. Like, the table is round, so imagine she actually plops herself in between the two of them. Like, hi.
Just sitting there sipping and shaking her head.
Hi, how was your day?
My day was fine. Christ on a cracker, Christine. We gotta do something about this.
About what?
Oh, she's just gonna look over at Cassidy. So, I'm I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. Never went to school for much of anything. But even I can see the latent sexual tension here.
She just sips her tea. No idea what you're talking about.
Yep. Cassidy does the same thing. Nope.
We happened to be at the same place at the same time, and she was having a hard time, so I invited her back here for some tea, and that's it.
That is exactly what happened.
This is what I like to call the disaster lesbian scenario. They're just both sitting there awkwardly drinking tea while Kit is just
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you two?
It's just Kit gets up. She walks over to the fridge. She pulls out a thing of like a rack of uncooked ribs and just pulls one of them out and begins to just kind of like gnaw on it. And then once she finishes stripping all the meat off the bone, she sets it down. Walks over to the table and just takes both of their hands.
Yeah, sure, she wants to do that.
Christina looks up at Kit.
Come on. The two of you are going to sit here and do this for probably the next 2 or 3 hours. I'm just cutting out the middleman by being the middle.
Are you
person.
going to be the middleman?
In a very, very loosely figurative sense. She shakes her head and she tries to get them to follow her back towards the bedroom.
Christina kind of glances over to Cassidy.
Cassidy's face is bright red.
She looks at all of her at her woad.
I might need a shower first.
I think that would be a great idea. Do you need help washing that off?
I should be fine.
Are you sure?
One thing about Cassidy, she gets really nervous about undressing in front of people.
Okay.
I think Kit noticed that, noticed something off about that, like, in the last scene that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's summer and she's wearing long sleeves.
Right. Christina will just nod. She's not gonna press anything. Definitely not. That's not what she's about. She can use the opportunity to talk to Kit.
Yep. So Cassidy's gonna go take a shower.
Yep, she'll show her where the shower is and soap and all that. And she's also bright fucking red. And just give her a smile. And then she'll leave the bathroom. And then she'll just go like fucking collapse on her bed.
Kit's already laying on it. It's already lit up a cigarette. Just kind of chilling.
Oh my fucking Gaia. Hi.
How's it going?
This is not at all what I expected out of today. I was going to the little Smart Mart to get just some cheap little plants for my experiments. And then I ran across this bottle of water that has metal in it that is being disguised or marketed as electrolyte metals. You should see the ingredient list on this bottle of water, which I have it, but I left it in the car. Fuck. Of course I did. Of course I left it in the fucking car. Anyway,
I mean, it's all the same to me.
that company needs to go die in a fire, quite literally. Would you like to help me blow shit up?
I don't think I have anything going on this Tuesday. Sure.
Okay. We're going to do that because this company needs to go away. Anyway, and then I actually saw Cassidy and started talking to her, and she just blushes again. She's buries her face in her hands. My God, can't even. I don't feel like this about people. What the fuck?
You didn't act like this at all when we first got to this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't feel that way about you. I do. I just don't understand what about her has me this flustered.
No, I'm just saying, get your shit together.
Fuck off. I'm trying as best as I can.
Try harder? I don't know.
I mean, she seems to be a bit timid about being touched and all that, and I don't want to pressure her into anything, but I mean,
you're gonna have to.
How are you about it? I mean, obviously you're okay since you facilitated it, but yeah, what if this turns into something between the three of us?
Kit kind of shrugs. I mean, we already kind of have a three-way thing going.
That's fair. Oh, I didn't even really think about it like that. But you're right. Huh. Okay, she kind of pokes Kit. What do you think? Obviously talking to her, quote, familiar.
Comes just sort of a bit of a shrug and a slight sibilant whisper, like a disembodied whisper. Oh.
Okay, then no objections there. Then we're, depending on how things go, we're going to have to tell her about you. She's going to have to know.
Kit kind of rests back. She takes a long drag off the cigarette and just full on octopus skin and extra legs.
That's not what I meant. No, change back. Fuck, you gotta scare her away.
I mean, it's a good way to test, the waters to see exactly how committed to this she is.
But you don't look. We don't even know if she wants any kind of commitment. This is not just something you spring on people like this. No warning whatsoever. That's not cool. Put it away.
Shrugs and
Just so you know, the only reason I haven't unmuted yet is because I'm fucking dying.
This conversation is everything, isn't it?
Although that's the problem though, is once Kit summons it, she can't turn it all off.
I know. Just, once, just make it not so
Also,
scary.
didn't Kit, tell Cassidy that there was something there? Because
this is the first time she gets to see it.
Okay, well, that's fine. She can look like that. just not the full-on Cthulhu.
She didn't go full-on Cthulhu. She just went full-on like octopus skin. Full-on Cthulhu's like massive and razor skin. That's not good for anybody.
It's not good for anybody. No. But yeah, it's like, okay, that's acceptable.
I mean,
She
good,
tries to take
it
deep.
it doesn't turn off.
I know. I know that. I know. Sorry. She hugs her.
She hugs her back with her hair.
Aw.
So it takes Cassidy a good like half hour to get all of the woad just scrubbed off of her.
I figured. And I want to hear her monologue in the shower, so I'm gonna switch to you. I want to know what she's saying to herself.
She's just sitting there thinking, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I've been here for 2 weeks.
I mean, but you meet a fellow verbena and you end up going home with her. That's kind of par for the course, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I suppose it kind of is par for the course. It's funny. It's not like she's never been in relationships before. It's just
right.
She's still awkward as fuck. She's just awkward.
She's awkward. Christina's usually so well put together. To see her this awkward is fucking amazing.
And she's really, really bad at lying, so.
Right. So yeah, just whenever you want to come out of the shower is great.
Yep, she would, just kind of walk out. She would have like wrapped a towel around herself, and she can't hide her arms now. So as she comes in, there would be quite visible like burn scars on her arms. It looks like someone has put out multiple cigarettes on her arms.
Yikes. So Christina is not going to inquire about that immediately. She because she doesn't want to put her on guard. She has dealt with enough people that have been traumatized or whatever to know not to point things out like that right away. So she's not going to say anything, but she is going to smile to her and blush really deeply when she comes out of the shower just wrapped in a towel.
Oh no, we lost a Vinny.
We did.
Oh, and a Vinny is back.
Back. Okay, so Christina's blushing really deeply when Cassidy comes out of the shower just wrapped in a towel.
Yeah, she's also like bright fucking red.
So it's like, now what do we do?
Exactly.
Oh god. Mood music. Fuck.
My audio completely cut out. I heard nothing after you stepped out of the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So it is not hard to notice now that she's just in the towel that she has a lot of burn scars on her arms where it's quite evident that someone has put out cigarettes on her arms.
And Christina is not going to mention it because she's been around enough people who've been traumatized to know not to point that kind of stuff out. But she is going to blush very deeply when she comes out wrapped in just the towel.
Well, her clothes also had, the woad rubbed off on them, so...
Christina didn't give her anything to put on. Maybe.
So towel it was.
Maybe kind of accidentally on purpose. She looks to Cassidy and she's like, I am not normally this
Awkward?
yeah, that.
Oh, I am.
You are so adorable. She looks over to Kit, who has fucking tentacles of her hair. Oh,
Surprisingly, it doesn't look like this bothers her at all.
so she'll pat kind of like a spot on the bed that's seated like next to her and Kit, so like they're all facing each other.
Cassidy will come over and kind of awkwardly sit, trying to keep herself as covered as possible with the towel.
So Kit has an interesting situation.
She told me a little bit about it. Honestly, I've stopped being surprised by anything since my awakening. I've seen some strange things.
That is fair. We are Urbano. We see a lot of strange things. But she looks to Kit, like just like kind of okay. You can explain now.
Oh goodness, what's the matter?
So every gesture that Kit makes with her hands as she's speaking, her hair is pantomiming. So
Christina's probably gonna crack up a little bit, like trying to keep from dying.
So, told you a little bit about the entity the last time we spoke. If you get involved with me, it's always going to be a three-way thing, no matter what I do. If you're getting involved with us, it's a four-way thing, I guess.
Christina nods.
I mean, I have no problem with that. Hi.
Just to let you know, we, as in just we, and she gestures to herself. All about that. We haven't had any problems, Christine and I, as far as boundaries. Seems to be something that we are completely able to agree on about respecting. As far as everything physically, I can't say the same thing for about house rules because I can't help it if I eat your meat-based regents that you put in the fridge.
I know. She shakes her head. The one rule is that they can't eat Archimedes. Archimedes is completely off limits.
Well, you did want to eat the elk when we went to see the keeper, so I do believe he called you out on that.
Everything else, I just kind of throw up my hands and go buy something else.
I've never involuntarily eaten someone.
Well, not in a way that involves ingesting them.
That was never involuntary.
Okay, that's fair. She just shakes her head and blushes again. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that.
That might have been just along for the ride, but that was me subbing. That was me tapping out or tagging out. I needed a break.
I am almost a little jealous that you can do that. It's how you're like the Energizer Bunny. You just keep going, going, and going.
Cassidy's face is just bright red.
So Christina smiles to Cassidy, a very big smile with her, like, it's not just her face that is red. So she has fairly, she does have olive skin, but as all down her neck to where you can see of her chest. Her ears are all red. Like everything is red. Everything. It's all red.
Same with Cassidy.
All of it.
Kit rolls her eyes as she just leans towards Cassidy and places one hand on the side of one of her neck and begins to make out with her. Because if she doesn't, they're just going to sit there and blush at each other for like the next 20 minutes.
Christina's jaw drops and she's like...
Cassidy's eyes widen briefly for a moment, but before she kind of just gives in.
Gentle pats from the hair.
Christina scoots closer. But she does watch this for a minute, like, okay, this is hot. And then she kind of like pushes Kit back just a little bit, like, my turn. and she will probably not quite as aggressively as what Kit did, but she will start kissing her.
Yeah, Cassidy is completely thrown off by this entire situation, but she kind of just goes with it.
It's not what when she woke up this morning, this is not what she ever had in mind that would happen today, but here we are.
Exactly. She's like, this is not how I saw my day going, but I'm just going to go with it.
Kind of like where it is going. Like, hey, our characters should meet, and well, here they are.
It's like, well, they met, now they're getting ready to have sex. So yeah. There's that.
There's that. It's great. Just Verbena things.
Oh, yeah.
All one's just along for the ride.
And she's more than happy about it, I'm sure. So yeah, Christina will keep kissing her for a little while, and then she'll kind of pull Kit over, and then she'll kiss her, and I think that everybody can use their imaginations as to where this is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you call fade to black.
Yep. So we're going to fade to black and we're going to go to after. Imagine at first it's very awkward and then it's not. It's just, yeah.
just Verbena things.
Yeah. Just Verbena things. It's fine. We'll go to after. Christina does not smoke, but she will watch Kit smoke.
Yeah, Cassidy does not either for very clear reasons.
Exactly. So in the post everything, Christina will actually find herself running her hands along Cassidy's arm.
The first time she does it, Cassidy does flinch a little bit.
She notices, but she doesn't pull back. She just, she gives her a very reassuring look and keeps running her hand very lovingly over her scars. I'm sorry that whatever caused this happened to you.
Yeah. It's clear she wants to say something, but she's not really sure how to say it.
Right.
And she just kind of sits there for a minute trying to come up with the words to, express what it is she needs to say.
Okay, that Christina will partake in. So as she's thinking, Kit goes into Christina's stash and lights up a joint. Because that she does smoke. She grows her own shit.
Actually, so does Cassidy.
Well, guess what? God, they're gonna be the best
At some
fucking
point, Kit's
partners
gonna have
ever,
to bring out her fucking hidden garden thing that she's been working on.
right? But Christina's very patient and just gives her time to think and doesn't, pressure her or anything like that. She just waits and keeps running her hand along her arm and being very reassuring.
I mentioned before that I was, well, not really adopted. I was raised in the foster care system.
She'll nod. In America, I'm presuming.
Yes.
She takes a deep breath. She's heard stories about American foster care.
A lot of the families were okay. They weren't terrible. But the one I spent the most time with, well, it was.
She frowns. I'm so sorry. You don't have to go into any sort of detail if you don't want to.
It's part of why I don't drink either. I've seen what it does to people.
She'll nod. I only drink in a ritual sense. Like if it's required in a ritual, I will. But other than that, I just drink tea.
The smell of alcohol makes me sick, so.
She'll nod. And she'll move her other hand up and just start running her fingers through her hair.
I don't mind if other people partake around me, but I avoid it, so. It's funny, I spend an awful lot of time in a bar for someone who doesn't drink.
She'll shrug. It's a place to socialize.
And it's not like you're an unwanted face there, so.
Definitely not.
Hell, they accept me, and like everybody pretty much hates me now.
Well,
Christina,
clearly not everyone.
yeah, Christina furrows her brow. Well, there's at least two of us that don't hate you. And she gestures to the entire situation. Definitely not.
Good to know that 2 out of the 4 beings in this room feel that way.
She shakes her head,
Herself.
smacks her playfully. God.
Kid'll sit up, and she takes on a little bit more of a slightly more serious expression, probably more one of empathy than anything else. Everyone's got their things they have to deal with. And I'm glad that you trust us enough to be able to share that.
Christina nods. Yeah, I know that we haven't known each other long, and having sex doesn't obligate you to anything. But thank you for trusting us. It means a lot.
Well, it's not often that I meet someone that I click with the way I did with you. It's kind of odd.
I know. She shakes her head. We should explore this connection more, I think.
And well, Kit and I have been through several things together now that, well, demons and
Mm-hmm.
just utter madness. So,
Or asshole Germans.
I am sorry Wilhelm was rude to you. I can't
Brood
say.
does not cover it.
I was
Not.
not there, so.
Could you imagine if I were to take an air horn, and hold it directly up to your ear, and then press the button down and hold it down for
I would, I would,
Mm-mm.
I would,
5 minutes?
I think I would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly certain I would kill you after I was not deaf anymore.
And then, on top of that, some rando that you just met just punches you in the face, just sucker punches you.
Oh my. I will have to meet this person and, well, I'm not sure what all I'm going to do, but
I feel like I've missed something. Who is this person?
I would not know.
New girl, Natalie, I think her name is.
Okay.
She heard the word demon and then punched me.
Well,
Wow.
that's rude. Do I need to
Yeah,
punch her back?
no,
Because I will.
no, baby, I got this.
Okay.
It's like one of the few things I do really well, aside from take care of, you know, everything left over that you don't need anymore.
hmm
Is hit things.
That is fair.
Yes, I saw what you did to that car.
I know that you are very well versed in hitting things, but I'm just saying, you know, I could hit her too.
You don't need to.
Okay.
If you want to, I won't stop
You know,
you.
I can't promise that I won't when I meet her.
She's really green, so everyone
Oh.
gets a freebie. So
She takes a breath and pouts just a little bit. I can't. I can't hit a newbie. Damn.
Mhm.
God damn it. Fine.
We'll give this one a fair shot before we decide whether or not we dislike her.
Before we decide whether or not to give her a fair shot.
Too bad. You're terrible.
I think you're rubbing off on me a little bit.
I think Kit knows my lack of ability in hitting people, so.
I don't know. You gave me a pretty solid punch the other day.
Look, I've been able to hit and stab things just by pure luck. I don't even know. It's
Keep in mind, dear, that was the first time I had ever thrown a punch, so beginner's luck.
You did a good job.
I keep I think, I think it's a thing with our tradition. We just keep having beginner's luck. It just happens over and over again. Like,
I
I don't know if
suppose
it eventually
when
becomes a skill. Like,
when you're the keeper's apprentice, things just kind of happen.
hmm, very true.
The one thing that she kept on was an acorn on a chain. because that's not leaving my sight.
Definitely not. Yeah, she'll actually notice that, and she'll say, that is beautiful. I appreciate the acorn.
The gift from the keeper when all of that madness happened.
Out of character, who is the keeper?
Merlin.
Oh, right. Fuck. Sorry, I had to be reminded. I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll nod, and she'll say, I'm not really anyone's apprentice per se anymore, but I have learned a whole lot from the Watcher. And she'll know that the Watcher is very powerful. He's basically the Archmage for the Verbena, although he's more than that. He's more than Archmage. He's like Celestian level. But he lives in a big tree that only the Verbena can access.
Yeah, Merlin lives in his own horizon realm, so.
Yeah, so does Watcher. He lives in his own horizon realm as well. So she'll say, maybe I'll take you to meet him at some point. I think you'll like him and where he lives.
I could say the same for you and the keeper.
I would love to meet him.
Because 5-dot mentor for the win.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't have an actual mentor on my sheet, but the Watcher had been unofficially mentoring her for ever. That's how she got RSA 3 and 4.
Yeah, she started off with Arete 3, so. Because I put points in it.
Started off at RSA 2. It took me 2 fucking years to get to 4.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. I had a 5-month hiatus in there too, but
well, yeah, that happens.
But still. Anyway. So yeah, she's just like, I'm going to make an assumption, just based on everything that I've seen so far and what I've learned about you. Is it fair to say that you really like plants?
Oh yes, I make all of my teas fresh.
I'm keeping her. She just wraps her arms around her.
All right, but you have to feed her. You have to clean up after her.
I think she can clean up after herself, but
I'm just saying.
Yes,
she makes are all on you.
She will look to Cassidy. Do you have anywhere? I'm assuming you do have somewhere to live, but where are you living currently?
It's a small studio apartment.
So you live in a box.
Kind of.
Okay. If you would like, I'm not going to tell you you have to, but if you would like to live here, you are more than welcome to do so. You don't need to live in a box.
I could see them just combining all of their, green thumbery.
Absolutely. You can live here where it's not a box and there's a lot of tea and plants and me and Kit and
I mean, I'd suffice for just those last two, so.
Oh, she blushes. She fucking blushes. Like, oh god.
Kit just kind of gives a nice sort of easygoing, like,
Mm-hmm.
This is how it's working out.
Yep.
I'm not gonna be
Like, so this is how lesbians work. It's like, you know, they meet, they have sex, and then they bring the U-Haul. It's fine.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is with lesbians, but like
Happened with
within
Christina and
days of
Kit.
meeting each other, it's like, yes, go ahead, move in.
That's what happened with Christina and Kit too. Kit just kind of never left. It's
There, Kit doesn't technically live there. She just doesn't ever go home.
well, I mean, Christina considers her to be living there. Like, yeah, she just does. She hasn't left. So, and the bed is a king size bed, just FYI, out of character. So, like, yeah, she looks around. You could even share the bed if you want. But I do have another room if you feel more comfortable having your own.
Well, I'm sure this would be better than the twin size I currently have, so. She kind of just rubs the back of her head.
So I have. She's like, yes, I know that you haven't gotten a chance to pay attention to how the sheets feel, but just feel the sheets.
She would take a second to reach down and feel the sheets.
That is some very high quality. It's like 1,000 thread count sheets. They're soft as fuck.
You know, I'm gonna say, just because by virtue of the fact that there's probably a good chance that some of them are at least partway wrapped up in sheets.
Yeah.
It has taken the opportunity to kind of overtly octopus out. So when she's feeling the sheets, like, kind of slides one up and kind of like grabs her and tries to pull the hand.
Like, no!
Underneath the sheet.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Being caught by surprise like that might
that's gonna incur a
go ahead and make a roll. PTSD.
Yeah.
Oh no. I hope she passes.
Oh god, where's my stuff? God damn it. No, I can't find it.
Oh no.
Where the heck did I put all my shit? Ah, there it is. Yay for willpower being high.
Right.
I don't even know where to set the difficulty on this.
How freaked out do you think she would be?
Yeah, this is probably just standard diff. This one's not terrible. It's the yelling that really...
Okay, yeah, then I'd go standard.
Okay, she's fine. She looks a little freaked out, but she's fine.
Oh, but she's more than fine. She had 5
Yeah.
successes. That's exceptional. She's fine. She's like, there might have been a momentary flash of panic across her face, but that was it.
Yep. There was a momentary just flash of panic that came across her face, and then she calmed down.
Christina kind of looks down, like, what happened?
Let's not surprise me like that.
No surprise grabbing. She's like scolding the tentacles. You can't do that to her, okay? Be gentle. Don't grab her by surprise. We want to keep her. We want her to stay.
If I can see it coming, it's fine. It's just when I can't see it, it's a bit of a problem.
She even has her finger out, scolding the tentacles. It's quite very school teacher.
Laughing at herself. just laughing at this whole situation as the party looks over at the two of them.
We're all fucking dying. It's great.
Just to let you know, that was 100% me, and that's
Oh.
my baby.
Then she turns her finger over to Kit. Don't grab her by surprise. We want to keep her. We want her to stay. Don't do it. Very stern. Playfully stern, but very stern.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And she's just gonna kind of lead towards Cassidy and kind of smirk. So it's like the third night that I was staying here. She reached over the bed to grab something off the floor, and I was awake for it. Got her with the monster under the bed from the other side of the bed. It was great.
I screamed
Let's
so loud.
not do that, please.
Yeah. I screamed very loudly. Archimedes woke up and he wasn't very happy about it. He's a stuffy old owl.
Well, that doesn't seem to. Seems normal for an owl, I suppose.
This one, he likes his books and tea. Like he was, I think in a former life he was like some sort of English author or something. I mean, we get along fine. We read to each other.
Tea and books. Well, yeah, certainly sounds like an English author.
Right? But yeah, he has his own. I'll show you his nook later. It's basically a little corner of the living room that is now his library. And he has a perch and all of his little trinkets and things that he likes. And when we go out, I have a special bag that I wear on my back. It's a backpack. It's an owl pack, I guess you could say. He's my familiar. I have to take him everywhere.
Oh, Kit would notice that Cassidy actually does not have the bag that she usually carries with her.
Kit will notice that. Where's the bag?
I don't take it with me to rituals. It gets in the way.
Could definitely see how that could be a problem.
Yeah, stopped in to get water at the Smart Mart. That was a bad idea.
Don't drink that water. No.
Oh, I didn't even buy one.
Okay, good. Oh,
Drink that water.
Kit offered to help us blow the place up.
Oh.
Well, I asked her if she wanted to help. She said yes. So
Sounds appealing to me.
I'm not usually down for, making things explode, but I think I can make an exception for this company.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really much of an explosion person as I am, like, go in and so kind of like splay out like the couple of tendrils that she spawned.
Okay, well, I mean, you can go in and eat whoever you want first, and then we can set it on fire.
When you put it like that, like in front of,
Person?
Girlfriend?
She looks to Cassidy. That's up to her.
She just kind of shrugs and is like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is an arrangement.
It's a thing that's happening.
Our new co-op?
Person? I don't know. Anyway, well, she's definitely a cohort. So, The Kit's familiar needs raw flesh of the human variety on a semi-regular basis. So we try to find situations to put her in where she can do that without harming anyone we care about.
I do believe you mentioned that when we last spoke.
Right. So I feel like this would be a great situation to put her in where she could do that. And we don't care about these people. So like I want to point out that it's not on her overlay, but she does have a flaw that she's bound by the law of three. But it's only if she uses magic to harm anybody else, it comes back on her threefold. That doesn't mean that she, doesn't want people to die. It's just it's just she can't harm them magically. She can harm them with Kit. It's fine.
Yeah, Cassidy is very much a pacifist, so
she's learned to be a little bit less of a pacifist, especially since she is an environmental activist, but she only believes that violence is necessary in certain situations, and this is a certain situation where she believes it's going to be necessary. This is one of those situations. She is very viscerally mad about it. Like, no, you are messing
Kit
with
would be very
millions of
quick to point
people's
out
water.
that she is now crossing from the line of activism into active terrorism.
Hey, I am not. Look, they're messing with water that can harm or kill millions, if not billions, of people.
You're going to set loose a biological weapon of mass destruction.
I mean, God, when you put it like that, fuck. Shut up.
Which, by the way, Cassie, it's probably better in a contained environment if we do this now as opposed to out in the field.
Oh yeah, she needs to see all of the form before. That way, it doesn't take her by surprise later. Are you okay with that?
I think I can handle it.
Okay. She's gonna. Do you mind if I hold your hand? Because I think you might need to hold my hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So she takes her hand and holds it.
Kit will hop off the bed because we've learned that lesson.
Yeah, this is a new bed, by the way.
Guessing it was learned the hard way.
It sure was the last bed, but got broken.
And Kit will stand there, her bare form back to them, so you see like the three circles, which look like they're half tattoo, half scarification, half like vascular or vein-like pattern that cover the entirety of her back. And as she begins to whisper, and these just awful sounds begin to sort of echo each of her whispers, the three circles turn completely black, and it's like a mist kind of swirls around her and overtakes her, and the cloud keeps growing and growing and growing until there's about like 15-foot tall or so, and very crouched, extremely crouched in this space. She probably takes up the entirety of like the open space of the room outside the bed. As yeah, she comes out in all of that eldritch glory.
Cassidy's a little taken aback at first, but it doesn't seem like she's afraid. Oh, but it's okay.
Kit will take her arm and kind of just gently drag it across the wall. and you notice that it leaves behind. It looks like a cheese grater has run across.
I gotta fix that fucking wall again. God damn it.
Not the first time that has happened then?
No. But I did ask her to demonstrate, so she's only doing what I asked her to.
And the idea behind it is she's trying to show you that, like, you can't touch her. Because she has, like, shark skin.
Okay.
Yeah. Except for her tendrils, which are just meaty and sticky. And then she'll revert form back down into as best she can, because that's another 5-point paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Should, probably stop doing that. That's a lot of paradox.
I think at this point, like, she's not even, like, she doesn't, like, revert so much as she's, like, forced out of the form, as if, like, she almost kind of stumbles forward, like if she were violently rejected out of the form.
Christina will
the other
catch
is
her.
just like, okay. He's not happy. Not happy at all.
I'm sorry.
Oh god, I forgot how much that hurts when we're up to this level.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
She kisses
Then-
her, gives her a hug.
Then let's maybe not do that again.
As little as possible. Yeah. But we didn't want you to be freaked out in the event that it does need to happen in a more stressful situation.
Just know that we can discern between our friends and our foes.
That's good. Christina nods.
And she just kind of completely lays just limply against Christina for a good little while, just trying to recover from that. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Do you need me to get you anything?
Meat.
There's a raw steak in the bottom of the fridge.
She would nod and head out into the kitchen to grab it for her.
And while she's gone, she's just going to kind of roll over and look up at Christina. Are we doing the right thing by bringing her into this?
No. But I think it's what we all need. Hers, I think, especially, I think she really needs people that care about her. And I feel such a strong connection to her that I just can't let her go. She shakes her head. So,
All right.
we are doing, I think we're doing what is right for us. Whether that's right or wrong, it remains to be seen. I don't think it's that black and white.
And at that point, Cassidy would come back with the steak on a plate.
Steak on a plate.
Kit doesn't even she just kind of turns her head and totally flirkens it off the
She's gonna be like, set it down and move.
plate, steak, everything just right into the mouth. And then there's just a and then the plate skitters across the floor.
Well, if I had known that, I wouldn't have brought the plate.
I mean, you could do it the other way, but she can tell you, your arm's gonna get all covered in.
I cover myself in woad regularly. Does it look like I care?
That's fair.
There's a very strong look of like self-control coming over her face where it's both her and the other trying to wrestle with, do we do it or do we not? Do we do it or do we not? And finally she just kind of relents because she's still exhausted at this point. And she just kind of like crawls, slowly up into the center of the bed and just kind of lays her head on the pillows.
How about we all take a rest and then I'll take you to get your stuff. She
Sounds
says,
good to me.
and she'll lay on one side of Kit. Well, I imagine Cassidy will lay on the other. And,
Mm-hmm.
and they can all snuggle and
Kit's
rest.
out.
Yep. And I think that would be a great place to end this scene. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.